Kia ora and good evening, Rotorua. This is your news for Monday the 17th of January. Ahead in the bulletin, a reward is being offered for the capture of Agrodome deer killers. Popular fishing spot closed after the death of a woman, and Lake Okeraka residents are praised for their help. Those stories and more ahead tonight. Thanks for joining us. Well, a $2,000 reward is on offer for anyone who can identify the killers of 2 deer at the Agrodome. Staff at the tourist attraction have been overwhelmed with messages of support and offers of help after 2 of their prized deer were butchered for their meat in 2 nighttime raids. Agrodome Managing Director Warren Harford says that 7-year-old hind Pepsi and top breeding stag Branson were treated by Agrodome staff as pets and were seen by about 70,000 visitors a year. Rotorua A&P Society President Anne Howard says the Society's committee didn't hesitate to offer a reward of $1,000, which was then matched by the Agrodome. She says what happened was inhumane and hopes the reward offered helps to catch the culprits. Rotorua Police are asking for information from the public. A Wellington teenager was injured in a crash during a water skiing race yesterday on Lake Rotomar. A Bay Trust rescue helicopter spokesman says the 15-year-old girl received suspected spinal injuries in the crash, which happened just before midday. Fire crews created a landing area for the rescue helicopter at the lake's eastern end where the racing was being held. The girl was taken to Rotorua Hospital. And in more news from the weekend, a spectator at Saturday night Speedway finals had a lucky escape after being hit by a stock car wheel. The wheel came off a vehicle, bouncing over the safety fence and hitting a man's shoulder and arm. He was taken to Rotorua Hospital with bruising and was discharged later that night.
Yeah, real unfortunate. I hope the person that gets too injured had a hit, but yeah, unfortunately that's the way it goes when it's contact racing.
The Rotorua Stock Car Club says fortunately the vehicle was not being driven at full speed at the time the wheel came off. Speedway New Zealand is currently investigating the accident. A popular fishing spot at Makatu was closed after a Rotorua woman died when she fell and hit her head while fishing. The 36-year-old fell from a sea wall known as the Te Tumu Cut Groin. The Bay of Plenty Regional Council put up barriers and signs yesterday warning the public of the closure. Council Rivers and Drainage Group Manager Ken Tarberton says he's unsure how long the groin will be closed, as the council wants to ensure the safety of people using the area. He says there will be some resistance to it closing, but police have to do their investigation. The purpose of the groin at the outlet of the Kaituna River through the Te Tumu Cut is to stop the location of the river outlet changing position and is not meant for recreational use. Mr Tarberton says the council is investigating what permanent measures may be needed at the structure. Rotorua Police and the family of Bishop Thompson are praising Lake Okeraka residents for the way they rallied around them. Bishop, 17, disappeared when the jet ski on which he was a passenger collided with another. Bishop's family and friends set up camp at the lake soon after he disappeared and were there until his body was recovered last Wednesday. Senior Sergeant Ed Vandenbroek of the Rotorua Police described the generosity and support shown by locals as truly awesome and amazing.
Rotorua Police would like to say thank you very much to the Lake Okeraka residents. They've been absolutely wonderful, right from the initial response to helping search for Bishop when he initially fell off the jet ski, right through to the last few days where residents here have brought food to the whānau who have been camped here at the boat ramp. The response from Lake Okeraka people has just been absolutely fantastic, and a big thank you to them for helping support the whānau during these very difficult times for them.
Senior Sergeant Vandenbroek says residents not only helped with food and provisions, but allowed access to telephones and other amenities and offered access to boats and other equipment. He says support was provided to the police, Coast Guard, the Navy staff and others involved in the search, as well as to Bishop's family and friends. Bishop Thompson's funeral was held at Te Whaiti yesterday. And in Monday night sports news, the semi-finals draw for Bay of Plenty Cricket's Williams Cup has been set, with no Rotorua teams making the semis this year. Rotorua Boys High were in the running for a semi-finals berth, but defaulted when the team decided to attend the funeral of Bishop Thompson. The semi-finals are being held this Saturday, with Mount Maunganui versus Cadets and Tauranga Boys College versus East Bay United. And the finals will continue through this coming weekend on Sunday. Well, to your weather, Rotorua. Overnight tonight we are expecting again fairly warm, humid conditions. Northeasterly winds with a low 18 degrees. Tomorrow, Tuesday, rain, some wet stuff. I'm sure the gardens and the farmers around the area will be thankful for it. Northerly winds developing, high 24, low 20. And longer range for Wednesday, periods of rain to continue. Gusty northerly winds, a high 24 and a low 14. To your marine forecast, Lake Rotorua tomorrow, northeast winds 10 knots rising to northerly 20 in the afternoon. Waves rising to half a metre and poor visibility in rain. Well, as usual, if you missed any of tonight's bulletin, you can watch it again. Simply log on to the website tvrotorua.co.nz and click on the View Latest City News link. Stay with us after the break. Julia Wilson helps us to stay sun smart for the remainder of the summer. Dr. Kate Mills runs us through some of summer's ailments, and all very important water safety messages tonight with Verne Mullen from the Rotorua Aquatic Centre. She joins us later in the show.